Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're talking about Palantir's lockup period expiring. Now I know a lot of you guys, I've seen in the comments in my previous videos asking me questions around the lockup period and stuff like that. So in this video I'm going to be addressing exactly when the lockup period is, what this means for investors, and what sort of plans, if any, do we need to put in place ahead of this lockup period expiring, and ultimately what am I doing, and whether this changes my philosophy and mindset as a Palantir shareholder. So firstly, let's take a look into when exactly the lockup period is expiring and what this means. So according to reports, the lockup period is set to expire in the middle of February 2021. And at this point of expiry, around 80% of outstanding shares will be available to trade. So historically, when lockup periods have expired on the market, you do tend to see a bit of a sell-off because obviously there are more shares outstanding on the market and more shares available. People, insiders in particular, they start selling their shares in order to bank some of the profit that they've seen because they haven't been able to do so in the previous periods, hence why it's called a lockup period. Now this is set to be in mid-February of 2021 when this lockup period does expire. Now do we need to plan ahead for this? Well, at the moment Palantir's share price is trading at it's around $28 per share, might even have dropped just under. And in the last few weeks it's been trading between $24 up to $30, and it's been swinging around that sort of $6 range for the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks now. Now, what will happen to the share price when this lockup period does expire? Well, like I said, historically, you may sort of be leaning towards the fact that a lot of insiders will now be able to sell their shares and they might want to benefit from some of the profit that they've seen. So potentially there could be a sell-off, in which case the share price will ultimately drop, especially because there's a lot more outstanding shares available on the market. But should this affect your particular investment and your mindset onto Palantir? Well, that all depends on what your actual strategy is with investing into Palantir at the moment. Now, if you are a swing trader or short-term trader, then this is potentially something that you need to read more into than potentially a long-term trader. If you're looking to swing this trade, then potentially you might want to sell out before the lockup period expires, or when it hits a certain point. If it goes back up to 30, you might want to cash in some profit there, because after the lockup period, in the days to follow that, there could be a bit of a sell-off and the share price could drop. But nobody knows. This is just sort of looking at historical data and the mindset of insider trading and stuff like that. But you don't know for certain. But swing traders and short-term traders, they might want to look into that into a bit more detail and set where their profit, or where they want to get some profit for if it hits a certain share price, sell out and potentially look to re-enter if there is a sell-off after the lockup period expires. But for me personally, I am a long-term investor in Palantir. I have some stocks and some SPACs that we've discussed on the channel already, where I sort of say, oh, these are potentially a shorter-term investment, or I'm looking to swing it over the next couple of months and stuff like that. Palantir for me is not one of them. Palantir is a long-term investment for me in my portfolio. So my mindset and my strategy for Palantir as we approach the lockup period and as that expires, it does not change. So for me, like I've said in many videos, if Palantir drops to $24 and below, then I think that's a really good time to invest in. If it drops to $22 and below, that is where I'll be loading up quite a lot of shares in Palantir, because I think between $20 and $22 is a very, very good price long term for Palantir. Then if it does drop below $20, then I'll be trying to invest as much free cash as I have at that moment in time into Palantir and increasing the amount of shares that I have in my portfolio. And because of this lockup period, my mindset does not change on this. It just potentially gives me an opportunity that share price may drop to those levels, in which case I need to make sure that I've got some cash to the side in order to capitalize on any drops in share price that we do see around the lockup period expiring. So that is my strategy for the lockup period. I won't be selling any shares before, during or after this expiry of the lockup period. All I will be doing is making sure I've got cash to the side, and if it hits any of those zones that I've just talked about in terms of price per share, if it hits into any of them zones, then I'll be using some of that cash that I've put aside to capitalize on those drops in share price and increase my position within the portfolio. So those are my thoughts on Palantir and a lockup expiry date, which is around middle of Feb 2021. Let me know in the comments down below if you're invested in Palantir, what your thoughts are around this lockup expiring early next year, what you plan to do with it, whether you're looking to sell before and hopefully there's a drop and reinvest, or whether you're going to do something like I'm doing, hold for the long term and just capitalize on any drops in share price and increase your position. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good Boxing Day. I hope you had a really good Christmas, given the circumstances, and that's a bit crappy, but I hope you had a good day anyway. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new and want to join our investing community, we're nearly at 3,000 subs, which is insane. A few weeks ago, I wasn't even at 1,000 subs, so I really appreciate the support. If you want to join our community, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button down below. Thank you very much for watching, and stay safe.